Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Master Tutorials, where mathematical literacy begins. Alright, so we are continuing with our 2023 B.E.C.E Section A solution as a GHS mathematics. So, which is we are starting with question 21. So, question 21, find the rule for the mapping x maps to y, which is 1 maps to 4, 2 maps to 2, 3 maps to 0, 4 maps to negative 2, 5 maps to negative 4. So we want to find for the rule for the mapping. At the JHS level, the types of mapping, they don't go deep into the SHS on. So they'll do linear mapping then, a little bit of exponential mapping. But it's usually linear mapping. But let's see how this guy moves, right? So find the rule for the mapping. Now, if you want to find for the rule for the mapping, first of all, you have to check whether it's a linear mapping. So these are the codomain values, and these are what the domain values. Okay, the x values are the domain, then the y values are the codomain. So we check for the difference for the codomain value. So let's check for the difference. How do we check the difference? We subtract this first term from the second term. So we are checking. So we checking for difference. Okay, we are checking for difference. So we get 2 minus 4, which means we are subtracting 4 from 2. So we obtain negative 2. Now 2 from 0, which is 0 minus 2, we obtain negative 2. 0 from negative 2, that's negative 2 minus 0, which is the same thing as negative 2. Negative 2 from what? Negative 4. So I have negative 4 minus negative 2, which is equal to negative 4 plus what? 2, which is equal to negative 2. So we can see that all the difference, the values we obtain for the difference are what? The same. So when we subtract 4 from 2, 2 from 0, 0 from negative 2, negative 2 from negative 4, they obtain or we obtain the same what? Values, which means that this is a linear mapper. So this is a linear mapper. So if it is a linear mapping, then it is expressed in the form y equals mx plus c. So if you are using this is how linear mapping is expressed, where the highest power of this variable x is to the power of 1, or the degree of the variable x is what? 1. So linear mapping is expressed in this form, where m is the gradient. So how do we find for the gradient? Which is equal to m equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Right. So we take any values. How do we find for the gradient of a line? You have to get 2 points. So we take any 2 points. So I can select 3 then 0, which means that I can say that let point A, which is 3, 0, then point B, I can also select 1 and 4. 1, 4. Don't select x value to be 1, then you select y value to be what? 0. It's wrong. Make sure that they map to each other. So 1 is mapping to 4, 2 is mapping to 2, 3 is mapping to what? 0, then 4 is mapping to negative 2, then lastly 5 is mapping to negative 4. So that's how we move. So this one is my x1, y1, x2, y2. So I have my gradient m equals y2 is 4 minus y1 is 0 all over x2 is 1 minus my x1 is 3. So I obtain 4 minus 0, we obtain 4. 1 minus 3, we obtain negative, sorry, we obtain negative 2. Sure. Now, 2 goes into 4, we obtain what? 2. But don't forget, positive divided by negative is what? Negative. So hence my gradient is negative 2. Right? The gradient is negative 2. Now, so we can put that into our expression or our relation. So I have y equals, what is n? Negative 2. Then I have my x plus c. Right. Now this time around, we do not know c. Right? We know y, then we know x. We know all the x values. They've given you all the y values. So now here, I can take my x value to be 3, then y value should be what? 0. Or you can take this or that. Or you can take any other point for the relation. You can take any other point. So I can say that x equals 3 and y equals what? 0. So I just substitute. Y is 0 equals negative 2 times x 3 plus c. So I can find for my c. 0 equals negative 6 plus c. I add positive 6 to both sides of the equation. So I get 0 plus 6 equals negative 6 plus 6 plus c. So that this guy cancels. So 0 plus 6, I obtain 6 equals c. So hence my c equals 6. So I have this. C equals 6. So which means that C refers to the intercept on the y-axis, which means that the line cuts the y-axis at 6, right? 0, 6. But that's not what we are interested in here. So we want C is what? 6 now, so we can just substitute. I have y being equal to my m is negative 2x and plus 6. So I have this. So you can see that our rule or our equation or is the relationship connecting with y and with x, right? This is the equation connecting with y and with x. That's our rule for the mapper, right? If you want to know that you are correct, then you can test all the values and see when x equals 1, what is y? Y is 4. So let's see whether it is true. When x equals 1, negative 2 times 1 plus 6, I have y equals negative 2 plus 6. Y equals 4. Then it's true. Y is 4. You can test another value. Let's say 4. When x when x equals 4, what is y? We are saying that y is negative 2. So y equals negative 2 multiplied 4 plus 6. I have negative 8 plus 6. Then I have negative 2. Which means indeed the rule for the mapping is true for the what? Relation. Is true for the mapping. So that's the rule for the map. So y equals negative 2x plus 6. Let's see for our possible answer here. Y equals negative 2x plus 6, which is option D. Option D for dog. Alright, so let's proceed to question 22. Alright, so question 22. Arrange the following numbers in ascending order. So we've given the numbers to be 9 out of 5, so which is an improper fraction, 1.88, that's a decimal number, 15 out of 8, that's also an improper fraction. So we should arrange that in ascending order. Ascending order means from the lowest to the highest, or which means smallest first. And get one so smallest first. So now, how best can we solve this? We have several ways in spelling this question here. You can change all the numbers to decimal fraction. I mean this. You can change them to decimal fraction, which means decimal points must be inside the numbers. That's decimal fraction. So you can change all to a decimal fraction. Or You can convert all the numbers here to percentage. You can change that to percentage, which means you multiply each number by 100 to obtain the number in percent. So you multiply each number by 100. Alright, so let's see how best we can solve this. Or another method is you can change this guy to fraction so that you find for the LCM, then you compare the numerators. That's another method. So let's see for the easiest way. So I'll choose, or let's choose, or let's start with changing all the numbers to decimal fraction. That's very, very simple. Then we compare the numbers. Very, very simple. So now which means that we have to what? Divide. So we are changing all the numbers to decimal fraction. So we are changing that to decimal fraction. So I have 9 out of 8. If you want to change that, 5 out, 9 in. 5 will go into 9 how many times? 1. 1 times 5, 5. We subtract, we obtain 4. We bring our 0.5 into 45 is 40. We obtain this, so which is 1.8. So 1.8 is the same thing as 1.80. And this one is already in decimal fraction. And let's change this guy 15 out of 8. So 8 out, 15 in. 8 will go into 15 now many times. 8 1 8 2 16, so 8 1 8. So 8 into 15 one time. 1 times 8 we obtain 8. We subtract, we get 7. So 8 plus 7 we obtain 15. Now let's see, 8 will go into 7 more. Bring our 0 then point. Let's see, 8 will go into 70 how many times? 8 8 64. 8 9 72. So 8 8 64. So I have this. Now we subtract 64 from 70, we obtain 6. Now still 8 can never go into 6. We add a 0. 8 into 16. 6 8 48. 6 7. So 8 8 64. So 8 will go into that 7 times. 8 7 56. Let's subtract 56 from 60. We obtain 4. 8 into 4 more. 0. 8 will go into 40 how many times? 8 5 40. So we have this. So now which is 1.875. 1.875. Now, so in all, we can also write it as 9 over 5 can be written as 1.80. Then we have 1.88. Then we have 1.875. Okay. So now let's see how best can we compare this. We can draw that on a place value chart. Yes. So on a place value chart, we can consider the whole numbers. We have only one whole number here, which is 1. So I can consider the whole number, which is ones, which we can call it units. Then I have my decimal points here. Decimal points. Then we have 10. Then we have 100. 100. We have 1,000. We have 1,000. Okay. So we just draw our place value chart nice. So I have 1.80. Then I have 1.88. Then I have 1.875. So let's bring here 0, 0. So let's see which one is the smallest. Watch here. They have the same digits. 1 1 1 1 1 1. which means that they are all equal. So they have the same digits here, 1111. That's the same whole numbers, right? So they are all what? Equal. They are all equal. So now let's see. All right, so the whole numbers, they have the same whole numbers. Then let's come to our tenth. We have 888, which means still they are still the same. Now let's come to this guy, 100. So if they are the same, you can't conclude and say that this is the smallest. No, no, no. Take your time and order the numbers. You start from the whole numbers. 11111, they are the same. Then now you come to the decimal numbers. We start with tenth. Now you can see 88888. They are still the same. So no one is small here. Now let's come to hundred. We have 087. We've seen them. They are now coming. So 087. Which one is the smallest? 0. Which means that 1.80 is the smallest. And it corresponds to what? 9 out of 5. So in ascending order, we have, so which is 9 out of 5 coming first, which is the smallest. Then after that we have what? 7, another smaller number. So which is 1.87, and it corresponds to 15 out of 8. So 15 out of 8. Then our last smaller number is 1.88. So 1.88. So in ascending order, we have 9 out of 5, 15 out of 8, 1.88. Let's see, it falls under option 9 out of 5, 15 out of 8, 1.88, which is option A for up. Now let's move on to question 23. Question 23. Simplify x minus 1 or squared minus 1. We have two ways in solving this. I'll treat all the two methods here. So now let's start. So method 1, we are using difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. So we are using difference. Using difference of two squares. Now, difference of two squares states if I have a squared so difference of two squares states we have a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, which is the expression multiplying another expression which is a minus b. So we have that a squared minus b squared equals a plus b multiplying a minus b. So that's difference of two squares. You can start with a minus b multiplying a plus b because multiplication to commutate. Now, so this guy, so now we can write x minus 1 or squared minus 1, this one to or squared. The whole of this is a, okay, and the whole of this is b. So I have a squared minus b squared. So the same procedure, see how we've done it, apply it here. So we are applying the same rule here. So this one is a, this one is b. They said what? A plus b. So I get it as x minus 1 plus 1. And they said use that to multiply a. What is a? X minus 1. Then minus what is b? 1. So when you see it is never difficult. Now we can, this one is addition. They are not multiplying, but they are adding. So I can write it as x minus 1 plus 1. Then I have x minus 1 minus 1. Okay, so negative 1 plus 1 we obtain 0. So I have x multiplying x minus 1 minus 1, we obtain x minus 2. How do we multiply? You have to expand the bracket. X times x. When you see minus, you drop plus. And I get x times negative 2. So I have x squared plus negative 2x. So finally I have x squared minus 2x. So that's method 1, which is very, very simple and very, very trivial. Let's see method 2. All right. So method 2 will be expanding. Okay. So use the expanding. So expanding, I have x minus 1 squared minus 1. So x minus 1 all squared, this squared is affecting the bracket, which means it appears with 2 times. So I have x minus 1, x minus 1. Forget about this minus 1. When you are done solving this, then you have touched this guy. So I have x out, multiplication of 2 binomials, then minus 1, x minus 1. Minus 1 here. Now we expand. I have x times x. Then when you see minus, drop plus x times negative 1. Then plus negative 1 times x. Then plus negative 1 times negative 1. Right? Negative 1 times x plus negative 1 times negative 1 minus 1. So I have x squared plus negative x plus negative x plus 1 and minus 1. So I get x squared, positive times negative, you obtain negative x, then minus x. Then this guy gets plus 0. So I have x squared minus 2x, which is very simple. So which is option, let's see, option A. Option A. Option A for apple. Let's proceed to question 24. Alright, so question 24. A bag contains 20 oranges, of which 6 are bad. Find the probability of picking a good orange from the bag. So now let's see. How do you find for the probability? Probability of an event is equal to the number of events all over the number of sample space, right? So the number of sample space given here is 20 oranges, okay? Now, of which 6 are bad. So now let's see. Number of bad oranges, which is n of B, is 6. How do we find for the number of good oranges, which is n of J? You get 20 minus 6, which is 14. So now find the probability. So they say you should calculate for the probability. So the event now is good oranges. So now I get probability of picking a good orange. Probability of picking a good orange is equal to the number of good oranges all over the number of sample space. So the probability of picking a good orange must be equal to number of good oranges. We have 14 out of 20. Now 2 goes into 14 7 times 2 into 20, 10. So which is, that's a common factor. So I have 7 out of 10, which can be expressed as 0.7 in decimal fraction. So the probability of picking a good orange is 0.7, which is 7 out of 10. That's option D for dog. Option D for dog. Now let's proceed to question 25. All right, so let's proceed. Question 25. We have the diagram. In the diagram, AB is parallel to CD. Angle AG, that's the letter in the middle, G. Angle G is equal to 80 degrees. Angle CFG, CFG, which is 5K, and angle CFE, CFE is equal to R. Use the information to answer questions 25 and 26. What's the value of R? So how do you find for angle R? So now, since A, B, and C, D are parallel lines, then you can conclude that angle AGF, angle AGF is equal to angle CFE. That's corresponding angles. So since since AB, line AB is parallel to line CD, then angle AGF is equal to angle CFE, which is equal to 80 degrees, is equal to R. So hence, the value of R equals 80 degrees. So since the line AB is parallel to the line CD, then angle AGF, which is 80 degrees, or let me use angle AGE. Okay, so that's angle AGE. Let me use angle AGE, which is 80 degrees. Is equal to angle CFE, is equal to angle CFE. So this F, that's angle R. They are what? They correspond. So that's what 80 is equal to R. So why? They are corresponding. They are corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are what? Equal. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And thank you for sharing. Massa tutorials to see where mathematical literacy begins. We meet in our